Hi there, my name is JackTheFallout, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to talk about the top 10 mods that I wish existed for Blade & Sorcery. If you happen to be another content creator just like myself, I invite you to create a video just like this one. I would absolutely love to see what other mods people come up with just like this, so go ahead. I'm not 100% sure whether or not all of these mods are possible in Blade & Sorcery at the current time. With that being said, let's get on with it. This is the top 10 mods I wish existed for Blade & Sorcery. Number 1. A Witcher Total Conversion mod. The Witcher is one of the best games ever made, with a fantastic story, really interesting lore, so having a Witcher mod for Blade & Sorcery would be very fun indeed. Being able to use all of the signs that you have in a game in VR would be absolutely exceptional. Having Witcher signs like Ard would let you knock back your opponents or knock them down or even disarm them. And not even forgetting Axii, which would give you the ability to calm your enemies down for a moment's notice to get an extra hit in. I would love to see all of the signs have their own unique little animation on the spell wheel as well, before you select them and then cast the sign. There wouldn't just be the signs in the Total Conversion mod, there would be a bunch of Witcher inspired maps as well for you to explore. Maybe a Witcher inspired bar, or a foresty road with a broken down carriage, an abandoned village that has been overrun by monsters, or sewer passageways that haven't been explored in years. And when we finally get the Creature SKD, I would love to see a bunch of Witcher creatures added to Blade & Sorcery.
Ugly bastard.
Some popular Witcher creatures like a bunch of drowners. Imagine fighting wraiths in VR, or imagine being rushed by a bunch of ghouls in an abandoned, overrun village. And not even mentioning the larger creatures that could be possible being added to the game, like griffins or cockatrices, stuff like that. It would be so cool. And it wouldn't just be signs, creatures, map locations. The creatures would actually need you to use silver swords to deal any damage to them. I don't know how possible this is. We've seen weapon poisons being added to Blade & Sorcery in the recent months as well. So imagine if you had access to the different weapon oils and potions that you need to deal damage to these monsters. You could have a bunch of weapon oils that could be added to your weapon to deal extra damage to various creatures. For example, wraiths are weak to spectre oil, so you would have to put that special oil on your weapon to actually be able to get the killing blow. It would force you to think and improvise and use these different weapon oils and potions against the various monsters. You can have a little potion pouch on your side where you store all of your weapon oils and potions. If this mod was actually created and done right, with unique animations for all of the creatures, the potions, the signs, it would be on par with the Outer Rim. Number 2. The bad people of the world. The idea of this mod is to add a bunch of people, past and present, that aren't very nice. That's a complete understatement, but imagine having a bunch of Nazis and a bunch of clan members for you to cut down willingly. There's a simple forest map with a fire in the middle, and oh no, you've stumbled upon a clan gathering. They're there talking about how they're the best and but you've got a massive sword or a dagger, and you just start cutting them down like the pathetic worms that they are, because they deserve nothing less. I'm not sure if this mod would actually be allowed because of the nature of the people you would be adding to the game, and I think that you would have to make it so you can't wear them as an avatar. I think that would be the right thing to do. Just kill them. There would be some German bunker filled with Nazis. The bad people of the world. Please, someone make it. I want to stab clan members in the throat. Number 3. Star Wars attack animations and or motion captured attacks. The Outer Rim mod is one of the best mods available for Blade & Sorcery, but it's always missing something. It's missing that Star Wars battle feeling. The enemies, they just kind of attack you, and you block, and it's becoming easier and easier. And yes, you can speed up the attacks, but it doesn't really change anything. So what I would like to see is realistic attack animations. The ability to lock sabers with your opponents and have them push back and you push back to them. Actually give the characters or the NPCs strength in the game. And with the motion captured, imagine giving the NPCs popular Star Wars moves for them to dynamically block your attacks. I'm aware that Blade and Sorcery is going to get extra attack animations in the future, but this is still kind of a dream mod of mine. It wouldn't actually have to just be Star Wars though. Now that would be a really fun mod to have a play around with. Number 4. True multiplayer. If someone was able to create a respawn point on one of the maps and give us the ability to fight our friends or team up with them, now that would be really cool. I know that there's been a few multiplayer mods in the past, but they haven't worked very well or they've been lacking. If there's some way to get the player character model and put that in a server with other people, now that would be a dream come true. And having the ability to mount mods onto the specific server, again, I don't know how possible this is, would be absolutely groundbreaking. Being able to have Star Wars battles with your friends, you could use it to create sketches like I've done in the past, but you know, on my own. And this is a dream of mine. Multiplayer in Blade and Sorcery has to be a thing at some point. Number 5. Wall running and backflips. This wouldn't be for the easily motion sick. But for me, I would absolutely love the ability to be able to run up walls, use the controller to do a backflip, to land behind my enemy and get in a good shot. With this mod, you could create some cinematic masterpieces by doing backflips and front flips and having the ability to pull off some absolutely exceptional moves. Being able to hold the lightsaber, do a front flip, block an attack, it would just look so cool. And it would feel cool too. I mean, it would make you feel kind of ill after a while, but it would be worth it because you would look like an absolute badass. Number 6. A fully destructible map. Picture this. There's a rundown house with a small forest in the garden. Everything in this map is destroyable and the whole house can come down if you wish. An enemy appears and you decide you want to slam them into the wall, breaking the wall down, having them fall to the floor on a pile of rubble. The enemy gets up, brushes themselves off, and comes to attack you. You head to the forest area, draw your lightsaber, and you start battling. As you're battling, you're cutting trees down in the process. Trees are falling around you and you're engaging in a really epic battle with this NPC. Obviously the NPC wouldn't be squishy like NPCs are in Blade and Sorcery right now. They would be a bit stronger, I would say. They would have to be, otherwise you'd slam them into the wall and they would instantly die. It would be so cool, and it would feel cool as well. Having the enemy able to hit you and then you slam into the wall, breaking it a little bit. I would love that. Number 7. A custom enemy creator. Hopefully, in the not so near future, Blade and Sorcery is going to update the character creator system, and when it finally gets updated, I would love to see that character creator system be added for enemies as well, being able to create a small loadout of customizable enemies that look like how you want them to look. I could imagine a video right now fighting my favourite YouTubers, for example, or being able to create various celebrities in game, ones you might like or might not. It's up to you. I think being able to create custom characters would be pretty cool. I mean, you could make the character look like yourself and, you know, end yourself. Number 8. A Lord of the Rings Total Conversion mod. On par with the Outer Rim and the Witcher Total Conversion mod I mentioned previously, this mod would add a bunch of locations from Lord of the Rings, as well as a bunch of Lord of the Rings weapons, as well as Lord of the Rings creatures made with the Creature SKD when it finally releases. You're at the Black Gate. There are 10 to 15 orcs charging you, including a giant ogre with a massive club. You can see Sauron's eye in the distance watching you, and it's your job to block all of the attacks and fight them among allies. You're becoming overwhelmed, and it's a Lord of the Rings mod, so when you feel like you're in too much danger, you slip on the one ring. With visual effects, you go invisible, and slight slow motion plays, and you're able to stab them in the shadows. The ogres are more resilient than the other smaller orcs, so they require extra stabs, and having the ability to latch onto their back and drive your daggers into them would be very, very cool indeed. As well as that, you would have creatures like the wargs or the giant spiders as well, all for you to be able to fight, and it would be really cool. Somebody please make this. Number 9. The Animals of Earth. We would need the custom Creature SKD for this to work, but the idea is that you get to fight multiple animals, just like the human NPCs. Let's say it comes with a zoo map or a safari/jungle, and your job is to fend off hordes of different creatures. Or creatures of your choice, depending on what you feel like fighting. There would be lions, tigers, elephants, wild dogs, and dinosaurs, of course. You are in the arena, and the raptors attack you. You have the ability to block their claws, which will have collision, just like weapons, because claws are weapons too, you know. You are in a safari map, and an elephant comes out of nowhere. Its skin is thick, and its tusks are deadly. It's going to be a hard battle. But with your skill, you block its head from hitting you. A heated blade gives you the ability to cut one of its tusks off, but that's just made it more angry, and it charges you. With quick reflexes, you jump out of the way, cutting it on the side with your blade, and it falls off a cliff to its doom. I would personally never want to harm an elephant, but fighting one in VR would be an epic battle, and you can't deny that. As long as the animations were smooth and the collision was done right, it could make for some really interesting battles in this game, and it's something I would really like to see. Fighting a lion in a gladiator arena, just like they did, would be really, really cool. Here's a fun fact you never asked for. Gladiators fought giraffes. Number 9.5. A mod that converts Blade and Sorcery into old school RuneScape. Wait a minute, I'm getting a call. Oh, that's actually a thing? Someone's creating old school RuneScape in Blade and Sorcery? Wow, that's really impressive. If you would like to follow CMVR's progress in OSRS VR coming to Blade and Sorcery, then there's a link in the description to his Discord. I recommend that you follow that because it's a really ambitious and awesome looking project. CMVR is calling it VRSkate. It will essentially be single player old school RuneScape, with the entire free-to-play version of the game being basically ported to virtual reality in Blade and Sorcery. There is going to be skilling, leveling, functioning stores, banks, game saves, maybe even a grand exchange, and they're also hoping to add quests. So link in the description, go follow its progress. It is amazing. What they're doing is incredible. I hope that some people see this and start following it just as I am. Number 10. Okay, I'm the bad guy mod pack. Well, what's that, you ask? We have the slasher pack and various baddie skins, but what if you combine them all along with a few horror themed maps and make yourself the ultimate slasher killer? You could have a cabin on a lake or a suburban house, or maybe something very Silent Hill. The maps could work like dungeons with unaware characters, and all you have to do is run around taking everyone out in the area. The NPCs could have random spawns every time you load in, as well as set paths. And when they spot you, they'll start running for their life, etc. For example, you are Scream in a suburban house. There are a bunch of party goers with upbeat music playing. Someone makes their way to a garage, and it's your time to take them out. And on to the next. Become Jason, kill some campers on a lake. Or even have a suburban street and become Michael Myers. And you wouldn't just be the killers stabbing people and slicing them with machetes. The killers themselves could have status effects that are put on the skins or the characters that you pick. For example, Jason would have increased strength, but his vision would be blurred because of the hockey mask he wears. Michael Myers wouldn't be able to run or jump at his enemies. And Scream would be fast and less noticeable, but weak to attacks in rare cases that an NPC gains some bravery and decides to slash at you. And to enable these status effects for each of the killers, you could have them as spells on a spell wheel to pick and choose whether or not you want them or not. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like, give it a comment and let me know what you think of my mod ideas, and if you're another content creator, don't forget to create your very own video just like this one. I would love to see what other mods people come up with, and I'll be sat here praying to the mod gods in creating these mods. Bye for now. If you would like to join our amazing Discord community, link is in the description, as well as my Twitter as well, at JackTheFallout. And a big thank you to all of our wonderful Patreons for helping support the channel. Up first, we have Blade and Sorcery Bastonator. Okay, these mods are crazy that way. This is trippy weapons. I don't recommend playing with this in VR. It makes you feel very, very ill.